What's going on, y'all? It's Toxicity here. And today, Jokes recently did a live stream where he explained some things about the next RB World, and he was taking a lot of community feedback, so we got a lot of insight on what the next game is going to look like. And I haven't seen anybody make a video on it, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys everything you need to know about RB World 5. Well, RB World 4.5. Now, I think the thing that I should start with is probably why I said RB World 4.5. Well, Jokes came out and he scrapped pro basketball. So if you remember that game that he showed, all the leaks of that really bad Arthro model, and like a completely new game that wasn't even going to be called RB World, wasn't even going to be really part of RB, it was just going to be its own game. Yeah, that's scrapped. So the next RB is going to be a re-scripted RB World 4 with matchmaking. And we don't necessarily know if it's going to be like completely identical. I think the characters are going to stay relatively the same model-wise. And there's going to be a lot of RB World 4 aspects in RB World 5. Now, when I say matchmaking, Jokes had said in previous live streams, even with the realistic basketball project, that there wasn't going to be a park, there wasn't going to be a plaza, the game was going to be entirely matchmaking. And he also said that once you actually engage in the matchmaking, you'll choose your build after the matchmaking has already taken place. That's something completely new that we haven't seen. So Jokes also mentioned that he wants the game to be skill-based matchmaking, which is going to be similar to how the overall based matchmaking works in Rec, I believe, but it may also be based off of your record. So it's going to be entirely skill-based, you're going to matchmake before you choose your build, and the game's going to be entirely matchmaking. He mentioned a lot of the fact that it wasn't necessarily just about people having bad PCs, which is why they lagged so much in Park. It was also because Roblox was just really poorly optimized. Before we get into like badges and all like gameplay changes and stuff, I'm gonna just talk about some actual Jokes quotes. I'm getting this from DJ and Zornage's document. It's in the RB community Discord server, so if you guys want to go and look at everything, and if I miss anything, you guys can just go and read that. It's pretty long. He plans to try, keyword try, to release the game near the end of 2024. That could be like early testing or beta. It's planned to release in 2025, so don't expect it. No more updates for RB World 4. Joke said the seasons went well, but they went by too fast, and he also said that they're probably going to be 2 months in RB World 5. There won't be any ranked modes, and this is a big one for League players. He's not sure if he's going to bring League mode back. He said he's more likely going to, but if you remember correctly, he said the same thing about RB Manager for 2 years in a row, and that never came. So when you put something up like that, you just never know. There are going to be new modes. RB Manager, yes, it's actually coming this time. He did say that he's going to prioritize that. He also said that AIs are going to be a big part of the game, meaning that AIs are going to exist when people disconnect, and they're going to be the main thing about RB Manager. There's also going to be a possible tournament mode, which is a my player 3v3 tournament mode. I think there was also 2v2 as well. And he also said that slashers will not be given new ways to score. For all you RB World 2 lovers, he also said that remaking RB World 2 was not worth his time. Alright, let's get into some actual game mechanics. I know you guys have probably been waiting a long time if you've been watching the whole video, but Jokes is finally straying away from his typical player builder, and he's switching the player builder something closer to 2K than the typical NBA Live. There's no more single badge progression. It's going to be replaced with trait points, and that means that badges are now going to be called traits. There's no limit on the amount of traits you can equip. You're just limited by the amount of trait points you have, so it's like 2K. I also heard thrown around that there won't be a stat limit for traits. And that means that builds are going to be able to do basically everything. So there's going to be a lot more unique builds, which I think is going to make the game a lot more interesting. And I'd say inclusive. Joke said that the progression to grind these builds, however, there's going to be a good amount of levels to grind, so likely more than 6, and progression's going to be harder, and he said it would take around a month to grind a build, so not necessarily as difficult as RB World 3, but a lot closer to RB World 3 than 4, when you can grind a build in 3 days to a week if you're willing to grind. You will receive skill points and trait points upon leveling up, and DJ and Zornage said it should be closer to knockout than RB. And Joke said that you shouldn't really be able to tell that you're grinding, which makes it seem like it would be seamless or just easier than he's giving off. There's also going to be no more ranks, so no Rookie, Pro, All-Star, Superstar, Legend. It's just going to be level 1 to Infinity. He said that the stats will be different. Now, I don't know if that means that you're going to need a higher three-pointer to shoot. It could mean that handle ratings will be different. Slashers might even be able to pass. More builds would be able to dunk, and they would just be more inconsistent. You never really know. Defense could finally be shown some love because RB is an offensive game. You never really know. Oh, and he also said that stretches are going to be better in the next game. And you guys can thank Coley for that because he was begging Jokes to raise the speed of PF stretches. It's going to be better in the next game. Okay, so continuing down the line, now we have badge changes. Now I'm actually going to start with the badges that are getting removed. And the badges that are getting removed include Teardropper, Thief, Magnet, Deep Shooter, Inside Shooter, Post Anchor, Quick Shot, and Steady Scorer, along with any badge that boosted a certain type of shot succession. So looking at this, it just looks like a lot of these are going to get reworked. Because if you go and you look at some of the other new badges that are being introduced, and it's like some of these aspects, like these badge aspects, are incorporated into other badges, sometimes like 2 in 1. So speaking of new badges, we're going to go ahead and get into these new badges. So starting off, replacing any badge that started boosting a certain type of shot succession will be replaced with a Green Machine-esque badge. So like Green Machine from 2K, if you know what that is. But Consistent Finisher is the exception because it's not like an actual shot. Then you have Tireless Dribbler and Tireless Defender. They do what you'd think they would do. They reduce stamina reduction on dribble moves and sprinting on defense respectfully. Then we have an unnamed badge that is supposed to boost the shot speed on off-dribble shots, so kind of like Quick Shot for off-dribbles. Then ankle braces, which all of you that complain about ankle breakers and stumbles, y'all are going to love this. It reduces the chance of an ankle breaker or stumble animation when playing defense. Second Wind instantly gains a certain amount of stamina after a change of possession. Lane Passer boosts pass accuracy and reduces the chance of your pass getting intercepted. Floor General boosts your teammate's streak progression whenever you perform a good offensive or defensive action. That's a tongue twister. Foul Card, increased chance of foul when attacking the rim. That's going to be probably really toxic. Mismatch is basically just Giant Slayer from NBA 2K, which is higher chance of shot succession when going up against... I want to say it's called Mismatch, so I'd assume it's a taller player going up against a smaller player, but if it's going to be like Giant Slayer, then it's a smaller player going up against a taller player. And then another unnamed badge is going to be a Focus Shot-esque badge, but intended for layups. I'm pretty sure Coolio called it Fearless Finisher. So something like that. And then Catch and Shoot is replacing Quick Shot, which you know what Catch and Shoot does. And then there's another badge called Quick Finish, which is just Quick Shot for layups. So looking at this, there's going to be a lot more badge options, which makes sense why Jokes is switching to a more 2K-esque build creator and badge system. And obviously, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more badges that he just either hasn't thought of or forgot about. So there's going to be plenty more. And then there's also badges that are getting changes. So Acrobat's returning to its RB World 3 functionality, where it reduces the penalty added to taking drift shots, and now off dribbles are added to Acrobat. So Acrobat's going to work for 2. Break Starter and Break Stopper are going to have movement speed buff, so Break Starter is going to get its original RB World 3 functionality, along with removing the RB World 4 pass accuracy buff that it got. Clamps now no longer boosts contest, it only reduces the chance of getting blown by. Deep Shooter is just going to be range extender, it boosts the range of all standing shots now. Inside Shooter is now Inside Scorer. It's repurposed completely. It now boosted the effective range of floaters, post hooks, and post fade, which explains why teardropper was removed. And post anchor, now renamed to just anchor, boosts strength while defending in the post and attempting to block dunks. Second chance now reduces the streak regression when close to going cold, so that's completely reworked. Slow the refinisher is going to get a rework, and post technician and anchor will be toned down because a lot of people were complaining about it. So this game sounds like it's going to be a lot more balanced, but I'm sure that there's going to be hundreds of balance changes that are going to need to be done to really balance this, because now there's so many different factors, there's so many different badges, and it's hard to really tell what the meta is going to be. I think that this game, it's obviously going to be more inclusive with every build being able to do anything, but I don't really know. It's going to be hard to tell, so I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of build creator videos all over YouTube talking about this kind of stuff. Okay, so there's a couple other things when it comes to actually gameplay-based stuff. Like, there's going to be slight decrease to shot speed. The moving shot stat's going to affect drift shots and off dribbles. There's not going to be any more defuel, it's just going to be called boosts. So, badges were called boosts in RB World 4, but now boosts is going to be defuel and traits are going to be badges. So it's going to be kind of tough to remember until the game comes out. Play now and Blacktop will be squashed into one mode called Quick Play. And just for anybody that didn't believe that RB Manager was coming, he 100% promised. So even if the rest of the game is bad, there's going to be an RB Manager. He also said that there's going to be certain aspects of contact that are going to be reworked. I assume that means like Intimidator, Contact Dunk, stuff like that. Posterizer. And then he's mainly focusing on the competitive and completionist aspect of the game. Okay, so before I do end the video, there was a couple things that I had like opinions on after reading everything, and obviously my opinions may change, but I think I'm pretty accurate when it comes to predictions about RB, and I was with RH2 as well. So I posted this in my Discord server yesterday. I think a lot of people are going to believe that this is either going to be the best RB or the worst RB. I mean, this is going to be the most inclusive RB, this is going to be the most opportunistic RB. Like, there's going to be so many opportunities for stuff. There's going to be way more content than we've had in any other RB. More people are going to be able to play because obviously you're not going to lag as much. RB Manager is going to be elite. I'm telling you, the game is based off of Big Win Basketball, at least the manager mode, and other Big Win games. And if you haven't played that game, y'all need to play that game. It was so good. It is so simple, but it is super good, and it's perfect for RB. I think the player builder is great. I think the fact that he's finally changing it and making it more inclusive, like 2K, is going to be awesome. I'm going to be able to make 1 million build videos and farm views. It's perfect. Okay, not in a literal sense, but I am going to make a lot of content on RB World 5. I will say I'm going to be in college, though, so some of that's going to have to be limited. I'm really glad that Jokes isn't using the player model, the new player model, the Arthro one, praise the Lord, because that one was so bad. And I think gameplay is going to be in a good place for casual play. I mean, RB World 4 gameplay, for as much shit as we want to give it, is really good. So I think as long as defense gets better and there's like at least some new stuff, the gameplay is going to be in a good place. Now here we go to the negatives. I have a lot of negatives. I think the skill gap is going to skyrocket. I think the fact that people are going to be able to make builds any way they want, a lot of people are going to make builds that just suck at the start. And to be honest, that's to their own fault. But the people that find the best builds are immediately going to distance themselves away. Like, they don't have to be the most skilled, but if you have a build that's just 10 times better than another build, of course you're going to be better. And I think we're going to get a lot of unnecessary balance changes when people do find those really good builds. And obviously there's going to be necessary balance changes too, but I don't want something to get nerfed just because people can't stop it. I want it to be like completely game breaking. I think the AI players, when it comes to people disconnecting, are either going to be useless or just stupid broken. Like, they're just going to read everything, and there's no in between. So I hope that they end up being pretty good. I hope they end up being able to at least like time their meter, because you'd think because it's an AI, it would be like auto timing. And maybe play a little bit of defense, but not broken. I think that having the ability to have any badge on any build is really cool, but knowing how jokes typically code stats for builds, like an RB World 4 with like 30-something three-pointers being able to shoot, I think any build is going to be able to do anything. And I said earlier that that was a good thing, but it also is a bad thing because you could be playing a build, let's say like RH2 badge name, so you have an inside scorer, or a pure slasher, or something like that, and then it's pulling out moving threes on you because it has gold acrobat and bronze range extender, or something like that. Like, it's going to be really difficult to tell. So you're basically going to be guarding everything, and it's going to take you multiple plays to figure out what a build can actually do. And then, obviously, League is a big part of the game. League is the best mode in RB World 4. I am telling you, it is fun. I quit for a long time. I got bored of it. I came back. It is fun. So, if that does end up getting removed, it's going to be a major hit for RB. Alright, y'all, that's it for this video. I hope I covered everything. If I didn't, remember, leave comments. Sub up, we're so close to 1K. More streams, more uploads when I hit 1K. I promise, I'm back. I'm being consistent. Join the Discord. I'm active in it every day, and I'm typically yapping a lot. So if you want to talk to me, you'll find me there. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.